Welcome to the Digital Dreaming Off the Gridiron podcast. I am joined today by Arena Football defensive back and current marquee player, Dennis Trotter Jr. Dennis, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great. Yeah. So you're the first guest post Super Bowl. What did you think about the game?
Man, I had money on the Rams, man. Overall, I was kind of disappointed in some of the DBs, but it was a good game overall. But it's sad that Odell had to go down how he did, but thank God that he got one because he's well. I feel like he's well deserved of it, So
Long overdue. Long overdue.
Yeah, man. So it's one hell of a story though, for sure. One hell of a story for sure. So I'm happy overall with it. I'm sad, I'm a Atlanta native, so my Falcons, they had their chance, a couple years ago. So I don't even want to talk about that, but but yeah, it was cool. What about you? What'd you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Niners fan, so I was kind of just bummed. But yeah, at the same time, obviously to your point, in retrospect, I think it's a great win. I actually didn't realize this, but California had not won a Super Bowl. The state had not won a Super Bowl since the Niners won it like 20 years ago. So obviously, the fact that the Rams were able to pull it off, and obviously all the guys who were over the ranks, like OBJ, Stafford, Donald, right, AE, right, bunch of guys, and Von Miller, who already had a ring, but kind of was fading out of relevance, right, for the past couple of years after Denver, retooled their whole roster. I thought it was good, from just that vantage point. The game, obviously, itself was phenomenal, right? It was a great game, wire to wire, on both sides of the ball. So, but I'm a Niners fan, so I feel like we're cursed.
Man, so how do you feel about that interception though?
Oh,
the one that he dropped.
Yeah, man, it's hard, man. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. You probably get on DB's cases more than I would because I was a receiver, but. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just like, man, that would have been something. That was like we would have probably been able to, build momentum off of that and be able to get. I mean, I'm not saying that we would have won either. I mean, I think we would have won, right? But I mean, I'm not saying we would have won.
Had a better chance, right?
Right, yeah, but we would have had a better chance. Obviously getting back and obviously getting into the dance. Then hopefully, because Niners played both the Bengals and the Rams this year, right? We played the Bengals, we beat them 26-23 in the OT, and then when they played the Rams, they beat them. First time they played was 31-10. Second time they played, it was 27-23, I think. And then obviously, or 24-20, whatever it was, right? And then obviously the exchange game, they lost by 3 points. So, I mean, the Niners had a great season, but it would have been cool if we could have went all the way. So
yeah, Debo's a dog, man. He a real dog.
Real dog, yes, sir. All right, cool. Yeah, I know. Now we got to take on Super Bowl. Let's go and start off with you, the top of the episode. So we're going to start off with your early life, and we'll progress through. So, talk to me about your early life. Was football always your first love? How did you get into football?
Yeah, man, football always been my first love, I can say. I mean, I was doing. I say, as a child, I was playing from like the age 5 and up. My dad was real stern on it. I don't have a brother, but I have 2 older cousins that I was really close with, and they was a little bit older in age. So watching them play, doing rec and everything, I decided I wanted to play as well. So being able to feel like I'm in a competition with them, they always kept me strong, kept me in the game. So that's really pretty much how I started. I played from Little League all the way up to now. So it's always been a part of my life. I have family members that still play football to this day. So I'm part of a big football family.
Absolutely. No, and obviously, like I say, if you have like the cousins that you have the influence from your family, kind of to help kind of guide you, it helps, And right. Obviously for me though, I mean, I was able to play in high school because my grades were whatever, but essentially I was able to play JUCO. So right. That was kind of, so I was a late bloomer, but you were an early bloomer. So since you were an early bloomer, were you always a DB or kind of how did you get into yeah?
So actually, I've been a wide receiver my whole career up until 2020. So I say my first year of arena football was with the Reno Express in Nevada. So I was playing wide receiver, but one of our DBs have to go down, and we didn't have enough DBs to fill the slot. So one day at practice, coach was like, "If you feel like you're up for the challenge, go ahead." So since then, I was locking stuff down. So we had probably 45 games left for the season, and for the rest of the season, I was going both ways. So not up until last year when I was actually playing DB for the Mississippi Raiders in the AAL. But, due to COVID restrictions, a lot of teams, we couldn't play games. So that's when I ended up going to West Texas to the Warbirds. So once I played with them, they had me at DB for the whole season. So I really just transitioned to DB last year or so. But it's really, nothing. I don't think it's really a big difference to me because as being a wide receiver, you're going up against a DB. So I study DB. So after studying them for so long and being able to switch that position, now I can take the knowledge from wide receiver to DB now, so I really love it. To be honest, it's a lot more feet work, a lot more skill work that goes into it. With wide receiver, I was really focused on being a possession. So I was working on more hand-eye coordination, being able to attack the ball mid-air and everything like that. But now I have to really work on my breakdown, my hip, my turnaround, so it's been a process, but my motto is trust the process. So I've been going along with it.
100%. Trust the process, and good things will befall those who trust in kind of the way things are supposed to play out, the way the higher plan is supposed to let them
Yes, sir.
play. So talk to me about then your high school career, since you were also a receiver. What was it like for you when you started high school, from going from Pee Wee to high school, and kind of what was your kind of your high school career like, as a wide receiver?
As a wide receiver, it was pretty interesting because, going in from middle school to actual high school, it was learning that now I'm not the big dog in middle school no more, on the field no more. I had to step up to all the older seniors and juniors. Now I have pretty much competition, but it was pretty cool because my first year at Mountain View High School in Gwinnett County, I was actually a freshman, only like me and 4 other freshmen that was on the varsity team from the first year. So being there, and at that time, Gwinnett was a real big football city, big football county, like along with Beaufort, North Gwinnett, South Gwinnett and everything like that. So it was football was a real big competition. But like you said, you mentioned earlier that you probably had a little, issue during high school. So I played already up to my junior year, but, I got a little trouble my junior year, senior year. So, I had to figure that out for the rest of the year. But from my time being, I enjoyed myself. It was good, learning curve for me. I learned a lot from the game. I had some tremendous coaches, some good friends that actually turned out to be, on a bigger scale level right now for football. So, it was a blessing, for a lesson to learn too as well. So.
Absolutely. Like to that point, I think that point's critical. Kind of, if even though you have like a shortcoming or like a setback in high school, that doesn't define your whole career. And having the right guidance and the right coaching, mentorship can help kind of shape your career post, going to the next level. So
right. And I realized a lot of guys. That's why I feel like I'm blessed, because a lot of guys doesn't have, blessed with the opportunity to have a good support system or someone that just believes in them. Just to be able to tell them, to show them the way, like, not even just give them a handout, but give them advice, and things like that. So I had a lot of people along the way that was, that believed in me and never didn't even allow myself to, get down on myself or forget, or just, forget about football and everything. So.
100%. Yeah, no, definitely good to have someone that pushed you in the right direction. I can test that too. When I first started playing at San Jose City and when I was 17, 18, right, I was like, my first exposure to football, James Jones of the Packers was there doing the loud on the drill because my college coach Keith Dub Williams, is now the assistant passing coordinator of the Ravens, right? And so all the NFL talent will come to our spring ball. That was my first ever experience of kind of like, my first practice. I see James Jones there doing the ladder. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Is this a standard? Like, because if this is it, man, I'm not making out of here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but no, it helps because, having that standard, having that example set helped kind of carry my momentum, throughout my career, even though it wasn't the NFL, but still, at the arena level, I think it was pretty, fruitful, to say the least.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So pretty much I was talking about kind of, so now college, right? Because you had a setback in high school. So what was your experience? Did you get heavily recruited like your junior, senior year? Were you able to sign right out of high school? Did you have to go to a JUCO? What was that experience like for you?
Okay, so at first, yeah, I was getting a couple offers, but due to how the high volume of what the situation I was in, that caused me the downfall, I kind of lost some of my offers. So I just ended up going to Mesabi Range out in Minnesota. That's a community college. I played my 2 years there, and then ended up coming back to Georgia to play for University of West Georgia, like 2015, 2016. So I just ended up finishing my career there, playing football there.
And what was that experience like for you going from JUCO to a 4-year, right? Because everyone has a different story, right? I mean, were you able to kind of get your starting position right off the bat, right off the gate?
No, not off the bat. I actually had to come in and grind, coming from a JUCO. West Georgia is a Division II, so a lot of people think that the talent wasn't there, but I'm from Georgia, so we have a lot of competition here. We got a lot of dogs that, that come out of the woodwork. So it was definitely a challenge at first, just taking it all in. That taught me how to actually be a student of the game. Because, you'll come in thinking like, okay, of course you might be discouraged coming in, a new school and, seeing all these top dogs and thinking that, you have to really step it up. But actually being a student of the game, stepping back and just watching, actually playing my role and learning the game, learning from the vets and everything like that. And when it was my time to shine, all that work, was put out on the field. So it was really an experience for me. It taught me how to actually approach the game instead of just playing the game. It goes into studying, it's going to, learning your fundamentals, just the basics of it. Stick to your basics. Don't ever try to, like, nowadays you see everybody doing all these weird trainings and everything like that, but it's like, stick to your basics. Football is it's a beautiful sport. It's a beautiful game. It's a good craft. So just being there, I can tell the difference, but it was more so of having better equipment, better coaches, better strength coaches. We had a lot more nutritionists. We had good trainers. We had a lot more stuff that we didn't have at the at the JUCO. So it was a big difference, but I can say the love of the game is still there, no matter where you were. I was there at Mesabi Range or at West Georgia. You could still I still was surrounded by people that had love for the game. Right. It wasn't just trying to get to the next level and just get to the big bucks. These folks was actually playing because, like, this is all they know. This is what they love. So, just being able to look at it from a different, perspective, it teaches you a lot about life, so it was a good experience.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to ask you, kind of give me one of your favorite moments. Give me your favorite moment from high school, from JUCO, and at West Georgia.
Okay, so I say high school was when we was going against the top school, Johns Creek at that time. We was a new school the first year, so we was going in, the county was like, didn't expect, Mountain View to pop off like that and everything. So having that game, it was a big game. It was one of our rivals at the time. We had one of our starter quarterbacks went down, and we had our second string, Chris Bartlett. He stepped up, ended up having a good game. He was a freshman that game. Stepped up, had a good game. That was one of the big ones for me for football, because it was just that we had so much going against us. And me being my freshman year, I never knew how it felt like to have a whole county or a whole school going against you. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want to see you win. So it was good. It taught me the lesson of being competitive. College, I could say when we was in the semifinals against Western Michigan State, ended up, it was close, but it was a close game, came down to 3 points, ended up losing. But, just that whole overall experience of being able to get to a championship game, it made me feel like, it is a bigger feeling out there than just playing football. The experience was, good for me, because that was my first actual playing time, in a state championship game like that. So it was basically kind of like, so the whole story was when I went down the year before because of my knee. So I was kind of out most of the season, and that me playing in that game was like a last minute call. Like, they came to me, asked me, "Hey, do you think you can go?" I was suited up, just because, I was, they gave me the option, do you want to play or not? But I was like, as a player, I'm gonna suit up, even if, I know I might not play or not, but I still want to be a part of it. So it was a last minute call. So, I ended up going in, made one of the best, not gonna say best, but the key moment catches. And one of that scoring drive that gave us, the lead up before they came back and, scored again. So if defense had held up at that point, we would have won the championship. But just being able to help the team and feeling like, no matter how, no matter what you go through, if you keep headstrong and you believe in yourself, you'll never know what the outcome may be. JUCO, I can't even lie. I don't even think I have any good moments in JUCO, because we wasn't a good team at that time. Right. We had a lot of young people. We had a lot of people that didn't know if they wanted to play football or not. They didn't take it serious. We won one game out of 7, so it really wasn't, really that big of a deal. But I love the coaches there, though. The coaches there, the training staff, like, that school should get a lot more credit than, what they're getting, even though it's in Minnesota, it's a small school, but the competition level there and love just for, like, the fan base for it to be a small school, it was really big. It was really big.
100%. No, and it's funny you mentioned that, because my JUCO is pretty similar. Like, I remember my sophomore year, we actually didn't win a game.
Yeah, but, we won 2, so.
Yeah. It is what it is, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like you said, like, you know, some people aren't there. And that's what one of our coaches said. He actually said that to us during practice, doing after summer ball. He's like, some of you are here just to play football because you think it's cool. And
Right,
it's gonna and you're gonna find out real like you're really soon that it's not just you can't just play this because you think it's cool, right? You have to understand that it's gonna take a level of commitment, dedication, hard work to really make it into something more than just, you know, if you want to get to the next level, you know, you're gonna have to make it into something, you know, better. And like I mean, and I'm not saying we didn't have good talent, right? But there's plenty of talent to go around. But I mean, I do
right,
think that, you know, just couple the fact there's politics, returning sophomores and some transfers, and, you know, that we just couldn't get cohesion, you know. And to your point, obviously the people who didn't take it seriously, it's one of those things. You just have to kind of swallow and move forward. So I just think
right.
it's you know, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, but yeah. So pretty much with your college now, obviously when you finish up West Georgia, what was your experience like? Did you get invited to your pro day or combine, or kind of what was that experience like for you to go transition?
Yeah, so I was invited to the pro day. But sadly, like I said, I re-injured my knee again on the pro day.
Yeah,
So that downfall kind of took me to a little spiral, a mental spiral, because that was like one of the biggest moments that I was training for. And when the day had arrived, I injured myself. So that's why I kind of, said earlier, I feel for, Odell, because I understand, so after that, I kind of lost, a lot of attention that I was given, at that time. And I kind of went to a mental spiral. I had, I'm not gonna lie, I went to depression for like a good year or so. So I didn't lose my contact, thank God, to my agent. Shout out to Sam at the G2 Sports Agency. He's a great agent. He does a great job with his players and the athletes that he represents. But he helped me find my way back. He motivated me, to not give up. I wanted to tie up my shoes and give it up because I felt like, it was over with for my knee. So all that time that I took down, I was just doing, physical therapy. I was training on my knee. I took a lot of downtime and just to really build back that strength in my knee and get my knee back to, how I needed it to be. So after a while, I ended up playing semi-pro for 1 year. I played semi-pro for 1 year, but luckily I had played in the spring league and also the summer league. Georgia, they have a summer league here and a spring league, so I played for 2 teams that year. This one right here is the Atlanta Venom. I played for the Atlanta Venom that year. We ended up going to the semifinals that year. Fell short, to the Thrashers, but that was just another experience for me. And then I ended up playing for the Thrashers for the summer that year, and we went all the way that year. So that what led up to my opportunity to play arena. So that's really kind of what happened from that point on from college.
absolutely. No, and I think that's a good point because obviously, you know, my last arena team, well, not my last, but the second to last one, the California Eagles, we made it to the championship game, we lost. But essentially, you know, to your point about semi-pro, like a lot of guys who were looking to get signed, they actually played semi-pro to kind of keep their body in shape, you know. And obviously, my last guest, you know, Brian, he basically talked about it. He said there's semi-pro guys who come to arena and they do perfect. You know, my first guest, Darius Prince, he didn't even play football in high school. He went to semi-pro, then he went to the NAL. Then NAL became an AFL opportunity. He went and balled on the AFL. He won Arena Bowl 30 MVP with Philadelphia Soul. He got on the Eagles practice squad next year.
All
So
right. Okay.
semi-pro, there's a lot of talent. A lot of
Yeah,
talent.
I seen you said you had my boy Frog on there.
Yes,
I played
sir.
with him at I had the luxury of playing against him last year. He played for the Amarillo Venom. But before then, I played with him at the Wyoming Mustangs.
Okay,
So
okay, yeah.
he's a very familiar face. That's my boy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's good to kind of see that interconnectivity of football because I think the longer you play at our level, right, the smaller the circle gets. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was starting to realize that as well. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. That's stuff. So obviously now, I think that's obviously when you first got in. So when you finished your season with the spring league, the summer league, you finished your semi-pro season.
Mhm.
Who was the first arena team to reach out to you and kind of describe that process of kind of transitioning to the scene?
So I would say it was the Sacramento Spartans in the EIF. There
Yeah.
was an EIF at that time. I was talking to Arnold Law. He reached out to me transitioning. He basically told me all the things that was offered if I was able to come and play for them, as far as like hotels, meals, 2-3 meals a day, practice field, transportation from point A to point B. So I end up, but you of course how arena goes. You have to basically pay for your own flight there. So definitely being a rookie, they don't want to waste any money on you. Definitely if you don't have anything proven. So And I'm going to Sacramento. I played for the Sacramento Spartans probably for 2 games in the EIF. The team had some kind of financial issues, so we didn't finish the rest of the season. So I ended up having a coach reach out to me in Reno. He seen some of the film from the 2 games that we played, and he said, he knew about what was going on. Once the news broke, he offered me, a contract to go play for them to finish out the rest of their season, and they had like 8 games left. So I ended up going to Reno, which only was 2 hours away from Sacramento. So I ended up going out there, and I ended up, finishing my season there. But playing in Reno was amazing. We stayed downtown Reno, the smallest, biggest city in the world where no one sleeps, literally where no one sleeps, no one ever slept there. The environment was nice. The people there was nice. We was in a parade with the University of Nevada. They had little events going on downtown that we was a part of. We used to go to the retirement home for the military vets. We did a lot of things as far as the community, and the community actually invested back into us. When they see us around, they're like, "Hey, you're number 6. You're Mr. Trotter," taking pictures and everything like that. So it gave you the actual, professional experience, because coming into the game, you don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Definitely going from outdoor to arena to where you go from 11-man to 7-man. So it was interesting transitioning. Definitely that's what I like to tell some of the young cats that's coming in the game, that it's kind of difficult, because if you don't have, a lot of teams have like defensive coaches, but they don't have like position coaches. They don't have someone to teach you how to play indoors, how to transition from outdoor to indoor. You know what I'm saying? They just have you come out and then just start practicing, just going into the defense, but not knowing that it's a real big difference in the game. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more fast paced than outdoors. But transitioning from the game, it took a lot of studying. I'm one of the guys that kind of I like to study, like to have football IQ. You can always catch me watching film. You can vouch for my defensive coordinator from the West Texas Warbirds. He can vouch. He always, every time he came around, he see me watching film. It just, once you learn the game and you figure out how to position yourself within the walls at either wide receiver or DB, you can be a big impact in the game. So transitioning from where I was to there, it was a learning curve. It took me, some real time to, evaluate the game and try to find a way to implement my game into the game. But outside of that, man, it's been a real challenge, though, to be honest.
Absolutely. And obviously, kind of to your point, right? Transitioning and understanding that, from 11 to 7-man, it's going to be a different kind of ball game, right? Because obviously, you're also playing on a smaller field, and there's going to be less opportunities. I think, especially for receivers, right, to kind of get open. And also for DBs, obviously, it's also a much faster game. The receivers are much faster, and obviously, the ball, it's kind of almost arena favors the offense, right? So you really have to be kind of on your toes, right, and be able to understand all the rules and the nuances with the indoor scene, right? So, I think kind of to your point, I mean, you're still adjusting, you still kind of and it's good. I think you guys went out and won the championship last year. But kind of, when did you decide to, from West Texas, who reached out to you for West Texas Warbirds, and kind of how was that process like?
Coach Gabriel Martinez.
Coach Gabe Martinez. I might know the guy.
Yeah. That's my guy. That's my guy, Coach Gabe. Yeah, man, he was the scout for West Texas at that time. I was playing with the Mississippi Raiders at that time, and we just had a game against the San Antonio Gunslingers. So when we was playing against them, he watched the film. It was live on YouTube. And shortly after, he reached out to me because they was going to start their league up. And from that point on, went there.
And obviously with that, what was from Gabe's kind of, reaching out, kind of, what was the selling point? I mean, you have to disclose everything.
Basically letting us know that it's a top of the line, organization. That what they offer, they're going to stand by what they offer. They put us in apartments. We was in a small town, Odessa, Texas. We have apartments, 2-3 meals a day. We do, of course, we have, endorsement deals with the teams. So we have to do little events and everything like that. What really sold me was how invested the coaches and the owners was into the team. Because they used to have a team was the Rough Riders out back in the day, and they actually played for them. So this meant more to them than it meant to us. So by me seeing that from a coach, it made me, if they believe in it, so I can believe in it. They sold me on, you're going to be a champion at the end of this. If you learn, if you hear, if you work with us and listen to us and let us coach you, you're going to be a champion. And 8 weeks went by. I learned way much more. I want to shout out Coach Butler. He played in the CFL and in the NFL for actually the Rams. So he had a good weekend. But I want to shout out to him because he taught me a lot more about DB. He knew what situation I was coming into as being a wide receiver, and he actually took his time with me and taught me how to actually play the DB position. So with West Texas, it's the fact that they offer good equipment. They offer even though you come with your equipment, they offer it for you. We had a great equipment team, great trainers. And if you honestly are a player that actually plays in the arena, you know that it's almost a hit and miss with some of these teams that offer all of those qualities, all of those qualifications. So with them, it's basically, letting me know like this is a top of the line organization, and we're going to stand by that. When you get here, we're going to show you. They like to show instead of, they don't do a lot of talking. They like to show you. And that's kind of a guy I am. I don't want to, talk your head off. I just want to, put my lid on and show you, what's my game about, So it was a match made in heaven.
No, absolutely. No. This is the point of, obviously for me asking questions, because I want to get that in-depth kind of look and your perspective, because I think a lot of people, unless they played like, indoor, if they haven't, listening to this or watching this somehow, right? I think they may not understand these kind of nuances again, right? Kind of to your point about teams not having, they may have all these things they offer, but it may not be the best winning culture. It may not be a good kind of fit for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Right. And I think it's critical to kind of really highlight those. So no, I think that it's good that you touch all those points about kind of why you joined the West Texas Warbirds and kind of the coaching staff and how they're able to help you transition from receiver to DB. So that's awesome. And congrats on winning championship this last year. So yeah.
Yeah, man. They just kept it real from up front, man. They just kept it honest, and that's what you look for. And sometimes teams may offer you, but you don't have to go there just because you got the first offer. You know what I'm saying? Because some teams, like you said, is not a good fit for you. Like when I was in Wyoming, I had to leave Wyoming. It was cold every day. Like I'm not really a big cold guy. The area, I just wasn't really fit to what I'm used to, and I really had a hard time adjusting out there. So, it's okay. But I also, had the conversation with the coaches and we agreed to me being released. But there's conversations and, you can have with your owners. And if it's not a good fit, you don't have to be there. As long as you go out the right way, in the professional way, you shouldn't have no problem.
100%. No, I totally agree with you. It's all about professionalism. So obviously now, right now, here we are, this new year, where are you still going to be the Warbirds next year, or kind of what's your
so recently I signed with the San Antonio Gunslingers in the NAL, the National Arena League. So I'm going to be Yep, thank you. I'm going to be playing, they have the new rule this year for Ironman ball. So I'm going to be playing free safety, wide receiver. So I'm going to be actually playing both positions, which is it was perfect for me. So I'll be in San Antonio.
That's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to that. The NAL, obviously, great league. Obviously the AFL can fully, NAL is not taking that next step of kind of replacing the AFL. So that's good. That's great. So now with the NAL, obviously you're going to be heading into the kind of almost like a big time league. Like, obviously, what are your expectations you set for yourself heading into this next year?
Just to be better than I was last year, just to prove, that all my hard work didn't go to waste this off season. I took a lot of time and invested into my body a lot this time. I dropped 25 pounds. So I'm feeling a lot better, a lot faster. So it's just more so to prove, just to make a statement to say like, I've been in the league for the arena circle for like 3-4 years. So this year just like basically putting a stamp on my name, just to show organizations that, I'm not going to just be only just a player that can benefit on the field, but also be beneficial off the field. Just taking another step of being professional. Learning the game again once more. Like I said, this is a new league. This is a better league. Well, this is a more professional league as far as talent-wise. So it's going to be a learning curve as well. Like you said, every day you can learn. There's nothing wrong with learning every day. There's no type of way you can master the game. So just being able to, take it one day at a time, learn, and I'll also try to, put my name out there as well this year.
Get your name out there. Obviously, have a great season, right? With this new kind of next level league. Now with that said, obviously, so I think we have the underlying kind of what is your ultimate goal in football? Like, what do you see yourself?
Ultimate goal. I mean, I just have a love for the game, man. So there's really no ultimate goal. Like like a lot of people I asking me this question. I'm not really big on, going to the NFL. Like I'm okay with not going to the NFL. I'm okay with not making it to the CFL. I'm really just in it to, just to really figure out or to show that, I really appreciate the game and I appreciate everything that was given to me and I'm passing along to others. Like I have a sporting agency business that actually just got into contract with my actual agent. So I'm trying to, find a way to be around the game even when my playing days are done. Just paving the way, giving back to what was shown to me. Football is a lot bigger than just, being an athlete. It's about life. It's life lessons, a million life lessons in football. And, just me coming from someone that just had a kid that just had a dream and ended up, playing in the arena, it lets you know that like no matter what you go through, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, So actually my first arena game was when I was like 10 years old. That's when the Georgia Force was around. Played the Georgia first went to their game, and at the end of the game, they allowed the players to be on the field, talk to the fans and everything. I went down there. I still have the jersey to this day. I went down there, and he said one thing that he said to me. He was like, "No matter where you come from, wherever you want to do in life, as long as you believe it, you can achieve it." At first, I thought it was kind of corny because as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny, whatever. But as I grew up and, going along life, it's some power behind that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that might pray on your downfall. A lot of people that doesn't support you, definitely when it comes down to, you might have responsibilities before you leave home, or you might have, a lot of things that you got to take care of and you leaving to go, chase your dreams. A lot of people might disagree with that. But, as long as you believe in yourself and you just make sure that the work that you put in doesn't go, unnoticed, then, by all means, so that's just another thing that I took from the game. And I really appreciate being able to find my way back into the game. If it wasn't for semi-pro, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for semi-pro, I wouldn't even be where I am today. So a lot of people that, talk a lot about semi-pro, like it's not going to get you nowhere. And you know how semi-pro is, it can be a little rough at times. But if it's how you approach the game, if you take it serious and you put your best foot forward and you make the moves, the steps that you need to take to get to the next level, there's no who can stop you. You know what I mean? So I just believe that I'm blessed because, with the grace of God that he's allowing me to keep playing the game and being able to inspire, people that have lost hope, because I get messages all the time, people saying, they've been watching me for a long time and they love my story. They support me, and these people I don't even know sometimes. And it makes me feel good because it's like someone's watching, someone's actually loving the story, someone actually believes in me. So being able to have people that can reach out and feel like, they can relate to your story, it motivates you. It fuels that fire in you. You know what I mean? So that's really where I'm at this year. It's more so of a proving year for me to prove that, I can also, not only that I'm an elite receiver, I can also be elite DB as well.
100%. Yes. No, I totally agree with you about that. Kind of like your point about people like, reaching out to you who you didn't even realize, following you. I experienced the same thing. When I was playing, like you said, to semi-pro, arena. Actually, I went from arena to semi-pro. That was my last year, but it was almost kind of like a mishmash because we got to scrimmage and play against some pro arena teams in the Midwest, like West Michigan
Right.
Ironman and a few others. So yeah, I mean, to your point, it's crazy when I get autograph requests from like people in England and Ghana, Morocco. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it was almost
Right.
you know what I mean? And so I think you're right. I mean, I think there's a profound impact semi-pro does have on the game, even though it's not as well regarded or respected, depending on kind of who you are. Right, as like a casual football fan, you may not really care or know anything about semi-pro, or you may think, oh yeah, these guys are amateurs. But at the end of the day, no, really, it's there's a lot of, like you said. And I can't test. There's a lot of great talent, on these teams. There's a lot of guys out there who are hungry, right? And they're trying to get their film. They're trying to get out there and, like I said, get their name out there. And I think, like you said, credit to semi-pro, even for me, because it's funny. When I played arena back in 2012, like, I mean, no one really cared because social media wasn't as big as it is now, right? I go play for the Chicago Falcons 2018, right? And then, oh my God, like I get 5,000 friends on my fan page. I get 4,600 followers on Facebook. That's when the started autograph quest, everything like that. Everyone's like, yeah, you're gonna be in the NFL. I'm like, well, I'm same like you. I'm like, I don't care if I get the NFL or not. That's not the goal. Like, I love the game. It's that simple. Like, and like you like my thumb, right? I'll keep playing. You know what I mean? Depending on regardless what happens. So I mean, that totally resonates with me too. So it's good to kind of hear your purpose and your vision, and you know, I mean, that's awesome, man. And you know, that's cool. You know, obviously, you know, have never lifelong football enthusiast who just loves the game. So yeah, yeah. Now, obviously, in closing, kind of, what are your closing thoughts? If you have any New Year's resolutions, anything you want to talk about, you do off the gridiron. Talk to me about that.
I mean, right now, I customize sneakers. I do sneakers restorations. I have a business in that as well. Trying to find a storefront to actually, make an actual business out of it. Also tattooing right now, but I have apprenticeship right now at a local tattoo shop. So I'm learning. I'm taking my classes there. Going into tattooing. And then also I'm working on my undiscovered business. Is a sporting agency as well. I represent probably like maybe 4 to 5 athletes. Maybe 2 got signed already to teams. Just taking it as it is, day by day, step by step. Really getting into my crafts because I've been drawing for a while. Just really getting into the tattooing game. And that's pretty much it, man. New Year's resolutions is basically, stay focused, stay dedicated to the grind, to the purpose. Give back whenever you can. That's pretty much it, man. Spread love, I guess.
Spread love, keep staying, can't commit to the grind. Okay, actually, let me ask you one more thing, kind of about what you just mentioned about the undiscovered agency. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what that business model is like, and talk to me about, you don't have to tell me which clients you have and who's already signed, but talk to me about what sets you apart from other talent agencies, in the world of sports.
Honestly, I'm still just trying to figure that out because really what I do, I don't go for all the top guys. That's why it's called undiscovered. I go for the undiscovered gems. The people, most of the players that I have actually come from semi-pro and got signed to arena teams. So they're not like high profile names or anything like that, but we go for the people that really get overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Because I have this one guy, his name is Future. He's a quarterback for the Detroit Ravens. He's accolades through the roof. I just feel like perfectly if he ever had the opportunity, he can he's built like Cam Newton. So he get the opportunity, I feel like he can make the best of it. We just, give back. We just don't forget. We give the people that look that they always wanted or they needed. They'll reach out to us. It's mostly free of charge. You know what I'm saying? Everything is non-profitable. We do video edits. We do photo motion edits. We do actual highlights. We do 2 sets of highlights. We do the season highlights where you send off to the coaches, and we do promotional videos. So we do Instagram videos, 30-second clips of you working out or your highlight clips or just anything like that as far as like, social media wise. It's a year-round representation. I have a lot of connects that I have through coaches and through my experiences. So whenever guys come to me, that's probably, coming out of semi-pro that actually have, some years in college, of eligibility, I can reach out to, some of the college coaches that I know of and try to, put them onto the game. Being able to do something like that. I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot from my agent as well. So I come with him a lot of questions, a lot of my concerns, and he keep it 100 with me. He tell me everything, the in and out, that what to expect. But right now it's non-profitable. But being able to get some of the guys signed, with it being fresh and new. It gives me a lot of purpose and a lot of hope to best to come in the future.
That's awesome, man. Because it's funny you mentioned that because I mean one of my friends, he also is a sports agent, but he basically said like he's like we can't take some of our pro guys. We only need top tier talent from like the top tier Premier Leagues, and which is fine. I mean teach their own, right? But I think it's cool kind of to your point. I mean that's the point of this platform too. It's like getting. I mean I've had some pretty big names on here, right? But ultimately, the platform is for, like you said, those undiscovered or kind of lesser known, kind of, players, in the pro leagues and the semi-pro, wherever, across the nation. So I think it's cool, obviously, to see that. And yeah, I think we kind of share the same vision, the same purpose, to make sure that, guys who are capable do get their opportunity. At least, yeah. So. And
that's why I'm glad that you reached out to me, man, because like I said, I've been watching your show. You had my guy Tim on here, my guy Big Bobby Machine. And I like what you're doing here. You're gonna go far in this because you having a lot of people buying in. I support you. No matter what. So I really appreciate the opportunity of having me on here.
100%. Nah, Dan, it was great having you on, brother. Before you go, drop those socials where people can get in touch with you and also follow your career and also follow Undiscovered and any other business you have currently.
You want me to drop them?
Drop them right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. You can follow me on Instagram, DTXJR 2 times or 2X. And then you can follow Undiscovered on hashtag, underscore UNDSR. So that's for Undiscovered, or you can just type in UDC in the search bar. We're also on YouTube. You can just type in Undiscovered on YouTube. We're on Twitter as well. So you can just type in Undiscovered on Twitter. We're on all social media platforms. So, you can just type in Undiscovered and you'll be able to find me.
100%. No, definitely looking forward to seeing that also blow up too. Whenever you get to that point, it's very exciting. Definitely exciting. So cool. All right, Dennis, thank you for your time, brother. Wishing you all the best in your upcoming season, and man, hey, can't wait to do this again whenever it is.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you so much.
All right, bro. Take care.